Welcome to Our Life V3. I'm Steve.
And I'm Mary.
It's so hard to believe, but this is the final highlight reel of our 2025 World Cruise on board the MSC Magnifica.
It went so fast.
We're going to start out Walvis Bay, Namibia.
Yeah, there was some question about whether we were actually going to make this port or not. There was a lot of confusion on the visas. They wanted $90 per person, but we were going to go regardless because this is the oldest desert in the world.
It is 55 to 80 million years old and only gets a half inch of precipitation a year. But being the desert, we had to do the quad bike thing.
Oh, absolutely. And no regrets at all. It was beautiful out there. The sand was so soft.
And even though it was a desert, it was still a little chill from the ocean coming in. So we did get to wear coats and we felt very comfortable. The group was a little bit large to say that we thoroughly enjoyed it, but we did get up to speed a couple times and the ever shifting sands. And it was an amazing trip.
Yeah, we love getting on quads whenever we can. It was so much fun. What a beautiful desert.
I will say there are some people that don't know how to run quads because we saw at least two fell down a hill.
Not from our group, though.
Not from our group, a different group, but yeah. We were happy to be doing the single one and not doubled up because I would say the bikes weren't overly powerful, but...
Yeah, I think we got up to about 42 to 45 kilometers per hour in the straightaways, which was just a lot of fun.
So if quad bikes weren't your thing, they offered other things like camel rides or...
Yeah, I think the camel rides was the big one, and it looked like people were having a lot of fun. We unfortunately never got the opportunity to do that. It was quad bike only. I really wish they would have had a longer excursion because this Desert Explorers Outfitters, we could have just spent the day there, just doing everything that they had to do.
Highway in the background. It's like, now you're in a desert. Here's a highway.
And over on the other side is the ocean.
There's those camels.
So it was so much fun, and I definitely would skip a cruise excursion and just go with straight out to these guys and just spend the day.
Now back on board, we had Easter Sunday, and of course, world traditions. We had the flying Easter chocolate bells.
Yeah, we had quite a few sea days, 8 days between our ports, and so there was a lot to do on board. We had Under the African Skies, which was 3 singers from South Africa, and they were quite good. So listen and enjoy. We also crossed the equator for the 4th time within this trip.
And our last time crossing the equator on this trip.
Do you see the line?
Yes, I see a line.
Yep, and that evening we saw bioluminescence in the water.
Something we have wanted to see forever, this floating bioluminescent algae. It was amazing to run into that.
And we saw the smiley face. Yeah, the one planet's quite a flight, but we did get to see it.
Brent Carroll, of course, did the big gospel choir singing "Oh Happy Day" with the people on board.
Yeah, so we had an MSC choir where they got together and they sang, and then the big gospel choir came on board, and the two of them combined to sing "Oh Happy Day" together.
Then we arrived in Dakar, Senegal, driving past the Demban DuPont War Memorial. Glory of the Black Troops and the disappeared creators of French West Africa. Quite a mouthful.
Yeah, that it is.
We opted for the Bandea Reserve MSC Tour that day, and a few of our friends went on the same tour, so we all got to enjoy it together.
Oh,
Here we are. I'm so excited.
Oh, lion.
Yeah, this was our backup safari, and we wanted to make sure that we, being in Africa, that we did go out on a safari, had a good time. We were very pleased with the last one, but this one was a bonus.
Now, the reserve itself is 8,650 acres of fenced natural habitat. They don't have any cats or lions, cheetahs, or other things like that, but plenty of other animals. Now, really what we were looking for here was the famous baobab tree.
Oh, and there were plenty to see.
This Gergot tomb is in the hollow of a 1,000-year-old baobab tree containing authentic human bones.
Voila. For this one, we need to provide them because they are endangered, and we have a program to a baby per year. She does, yes.
She's an animal whisperer.
Now, I always get the monkeys mixed up. We had the Patas monkeys, which are the light-faced, and the green vervet monkeys, which are the darker faces, but they were everywhere on this.
They were. Oh, and we get to see the rhinoceros and this beautiful blue heron coming in.
I think it freaked the rhinoceros out a little bit.
He just was like, what's going on there? Blue herons are just so pretty.
Why do they call them a white rhinoceros? They're clearly gray.
I'm
Monkey.
not exactly sure, but here's one of those. What is that?
That's the Patas monkey with the lighter face.
Okay. We went through some area where they were going to put together a resort, but it never came to be.
Show the stairs.
How we doing, crew?
Great.
When it ended, we got back into the village, and of course there were shopping opportunities. Grab a Coke, grab a beer. I opted for the beer.
Flag. Lovely. And we looked down, and there were crocodiles. So many crocodiles.
They were praying for one of the monkeys to fall out of the tree, I guess.
Holy, those are big.
Oh, the monkeys, they would go over and steal food off of people's plates and was eating them.
Here we have a skink, I believe.
So back on board, there was the Michael Jackson show, which was very, very good.
He did a lot of lip syncing, so to keep from violating any copyright material, of course, we're going to keep the sound down in the back, but trust me, they were good.
Yep, and then our activities crew put on a talent show, and they did everything from these little skits, which is where if they were not on board doing what they're doing now, this is what they would want to do to make a living.
And of course, it was just fun watching them. So you got to see these guys every day doing their real jobs, and then all of a sudden they're working up their talents. So
our next port was in Fuerteventura Island in the Canary Islands. Here we decided to do some dune buggy rides with our friends.
Dune Buggy. It's a Dune Buggy day.
We were really excited to go out with them, and we thought it was going to be a great time. Unfortunately, we all got separated. We're not exactly sure where they were in the pile, but we did meet up with them on the beach.
I would say we had a good 30 some odd dune buggies out with us that day.
Yeah, there were quite a few.
Here we're at the Coraleo Beach, Sand Beach, and that's toward the north side of the island. And from there, we're going to head out towards some volcanic region.
Oh, that water is just beautiful.
There was a lot more road time than off-road time than what I was expecting.
Yeah, I will agree with you there. I think it was about an hour before we finally hit dirt.
Now here we finally hit the volcanic region. They are dormant volcanoes, but it was really fun slipping around the gravel there.
Yeah, they had nice washboard roads and, just gravel roads. So we got really dusty, really dirty, which was just made for a fun time. You could see all of the dune buggies in front of us. There were quite a few. There was a blackout in Spain, which caused people to get stranded on this island, and I guess they just all decided to go for a dune buggy ride that day.
This is a nice getaway island for a lot of Europeans, but we had never personally heard of it before this trip.
So the dune buggies weren't the most powerful things that we had ever ridden. I think coming off of the bikes, the quads, we were expecting something a little bit different. Oh, this was funny because I never realized how dusty my glasses were until Steve wiped them, and then I could see again. But it was a fun time, and it was fun being with our friends. Even though we weren't together, we could see them in their buggies from time to time.
It's Mary's turn to drive. Mary's turn to drive.
Little Ricky Bobby one-handed driving. I want to go fast.
Yep, it was my turn to drive, and I was going to take advantage of it. But I had to remove some of that dust.
It was fun going by the fields of just lots of goats and maybe some alpaca.
Plenty of goats. I don't think I saw any alpaca out there. Not saying that there weren't any.
Here we are back on the road already, heading back into Coraleo to return the dune buggies.
It was a fun day.
It's a big bumpy road.
Yeah, it was cool driving around there. These things did not get up a lot of speed, but it was still fun, just rolling around in the dirt out there. On board, the dining staff was having their waiter parade and chef parade to bid us farewell because we were just days away from ending the cruise.
Yeah, these guys took really good care of all of us.
And then after a month of practicing ukulele, Carol and I got to do our final recital, so we got to sing 2 songs. We were accompanied by one of the singers on board and a pianist, and there we were strumming our little ukuleles.
Yeah, I think you did Stand By Me, obviously, and then Every Breath You Take. And wasn't it the same?
Almost the same chords.
In chords?
Incidentally, I'm not unhappy. That is just my look of concentration. I'm really enjoying myself. It just may not look like it.
But you need to work on that smile, buddy.
Spinny, spin, 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 spin.
Yeah, these acrobats, I think it was a father and son team, and boy, were they really good. And then they flip, 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 flip. It was like spin, spin, and flip, flip.
Flip, flip.
Just incredible. The shows on board were amazing. So we had made it back to Italy. We were in Sicily and we did a city tour of Palmero.
First, we passed the theater and Theater of Dual Purposes. Don't even try to pronounce it.
But we were on our way to Monreale.
Yeah, we visited the Cathedral of Monreale. Moorish architecture blended with Sicilian Baroque style that was built between 1686 and 1692. Of course, you had to walk through the gift shop first, but...
Yeah, but look at those flowers. It was just beautiful. That just screamed Italy to me. I don't know.
The orange juice?
No. The Vespa.
Oh, the Vespa. Yes, of course. Well, there's the cathedral, and, here's the guy saying, hey, I will build you this cathedral. We lost our guide in this place. It was just so massive and beautiful, and she took off, and I will say there was at least, 300 people in there?
Yeah, it was just so crowded in there that day, and our guide said that they had not seen it that busy before, that was extraordinarily busy.
Lots of bright gold mosaics, Bible stories everywhere you look. So if you didn't read the Bible, you could just go see the picture show on the wall. Then we busted the historical center of Palmero for a walking tour. got dropped at the Independence Garden Plaza and walked through the gate of Porta Nova.
Quite a gate.
That was an impressive gate.
It was an impressive gate. Past the Cathedral of Palmera, a beautiful structure. We wish we had time to explore it, but our guide just rushed us right past it. It was an MSC included excursion, so you know what that means.
Rush. I really enjoyed the live music that we saw along the way. It was very musical city. We made our way through the vendors down to Quattro Conti. Unfortunately, we didn't have very much time there either. I think we did one spin around, and it was on our way to the Church of Jesus of Professed House.
What a beautiful building, adorned with mosaics and marble everywhere. You could just really see the classic neo style in this.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It definitely needed a little restoration on the inside, but wow.
Back on board. Hey, we had the Beatles entertaining us.
Yep, our theater troupe came out and they sang along with them.
I think we should learn this dance.
I think we could do that dance.
So this was the last night on board before some people left in Rome. So this was kind of their farewell to a lot of the people that were on board.
Yeah, I love the little chef in the back.
Is his name Remy?
I don't think so.
We arrived in Civitavecchia, Italy, and I hopped on the Tarquinia Tuscany tour.
Yeah, I did not go with you on this tour. I think that you just went off. Our friend Carol actually had it booked. We were going to go into Rome, but then they had the selection of the popes at the time, and we did not want to fight those crowds.
Here we're at the Palazzo Vesecci, or the National Archaeological Museum of Tarquinia. A lot of tombs and vases, statues. But you can really see that this city dated back to 500 AD.
Isn't it an ancient Roman city or old Roman?
It is an ancient Roman city. Now, it's been rebuilt a couple times. I think the most shocking thing was you're walking through, you definitely had a feel for the Italian architecture here, the Roman architecture. But every now and then you would see a building with bullet holes in it where you could see that it was definitely fought through during the wartime.
Just love the floor in that one church that you went in.
Yeah, the Chelsea di Sant'Ambrogio. It was just a beautiful countryside. Now, Mary not being with me, we have a lack of video here. I do most of the photography while she does the videography.
Oh, that was somebody's house there, I think.
Somebody's house, and if you look really close, you'll see the bullet holes up around the window here. I think we zoom in on them.
Yeah, but they had some snipers up there.
Now, of course, I was looking forward to the end of the tour because I was ready for a cup of coffee. So we were working our way back to the Fontana Battazzo in the downtown area and the city square. Enjoyed a really beautiful cup of coffee and a Danish here. I don't know why, it just feels like you're Italian when you're sitting there having a cappuccino and a...
Ooh, did you have it after 11 a.m.? Because that's
No, that's a no-no in Europe.
It does look like a very quaint town. Oh, there's that coffee.
There's that coffee.
Oh, and you can see out to the ocean? Or is that a lake?
Oh, that's the ocean. Now we drove through the countryside going to Tuscany, which dates back to the 5th century AD as well. Tuscany actually means 12 dogs. So there's an original saying for you. We walked through the Porta di Poggio Gate, sorry, and then past the Co-Cathedral of St. James Maggiore. This is the fountain, the Grand Fountain, or the Grande Fonte. Anyway, interesting. It was quaint. But the real win with this city was as you got out here into the distance. There's an old castle ruin you'll see and a cathedral.
I think there's the castle ruin, right? And then there's the Church of St. Mary.
Just beautiful location. Anyway, since my friend got me this, I decided I would do something in return. And there was this great lavender shop as we passed. And I was able to pick up some lavender oils and essential soaps and stuff to share.
Oh, that's really nice.
Back on board, it was our final farewell. The group got together for some drinks, and voila, we arrived back in Genoa, Italy for our disembarkation. And watching the Magnifica come in for boarding. Here it is 4 months later. We're finally arriving back in Genoa, backing ourselves up to a port. That's the end of this adventure, I guess. Next adventure, we're ready for you.
We all got together and had breakfast together that morning and trying the juice.
Now, I'm not going to say the disembarkation was exactly smooth. It was kind of a mess, honestly.
So they actually got us on a bus and drove around the building where we got off, went through immigration, walked the entire length of it, got out of the building, picked up our luggage, and then we waited there for about 30 minutes for a taxi.
Never came.
That never came. So then we hopped on a bus.
And the bus was supposed to take us to the main terminal, but, well, here we took off down the road, and halfway to the main terminal, they stopped and said, everybody out.
And it was the most inconvenient location they could have dropped us off.
I mean, they stuck us there. There's this big thing right in the way. There's that other ship. You could see the main terminal still way in the distance. And then all of a sudden you had a bus of 40, 50 people all trying to get their luggage out of the hold. I mean, honestly, in the time we waited, we could have just walked down to the main terminal.
But, you know, in our fashion, we just laughed about it. It was absurd. But it was funny.
It was like bowling for dollars. Watch these suitcases go down. This suitcase was every bit of 50 pounds, and Jim's like, I'm ready.
And then he calls this guy in yellow his guardian angel. Thank you, man in yellow. Thank you.
And of course, more people realized they weren't able to get in and get their luggage. It turned into a fight. Look at this lady's look on her face. She is fed up with this. She's like, I am so done with this.
And poor Steve was like, can somebody just hand us our last piece of luggage? Oh, I guess not. I'll just go get it myself.
It's the crinkled one, I bet you.
No, this one.
Woo! I think a couple of choice words were said there.
So then we had to walk the final bit to where we should have landed.
The maritime station. And then we just walked across the street and into the train station because we were catching a train to Milan with our friends.
Mile to the Starbucks? Is it for the actual Starbucks or just the train?
Waiting for a train. Got an hour.
Your coach 1C, and that's the 745 one? Coach 1, huh? Oh, wait, is that today's or the old one?
No, it's today.
Okay. So you're with Jim and Deb. And Carol and Mary and I are on 2.
And Mary's taping the whole thing, so it's all on tape. Did you get my book?
I sure did. And I got that.
So this was the official end to our MSC World Cruise 2025. We learned so much about the world and our inhabitants and ourselves along the way.
It wasn't all fun and relaxation, as there were many times our patience was tested and our inner peace challenged. We didn't let this deter us, and instead focused on what an amazing world we live in.
We're all blessed to have the Earth as our home, and we're thankful for every day that we have together. As for the World Cruise, our ship sailed across oceans, docking in various countries, and we had the rare opportunity to explore many diverse cultures, cuisines, and landscapes while only unpacking once.
It eliminated the stress of constant travel logistics while allowing us to relax in comfort while enjoying our ever-changing views and enriching excursions.
While we know that not everybody can afford a trip like this, either monetarily, health-wise, or time-wise, we do encourage everyone to go and explore and learn, even if it's only from a nearby neighborhood, town, city, or state. Every bit of travel offers a broader perspective. Seeing how other people live can shift your outlook and help you appreciate what you have while rethinking your priorities and assumptions.
There's still so much that we want to say about the World Cruise experience, as it was so different from the shorter cruises we've taken in the past.
We'll be creating videos to cover the good, the bad, and just plain what happened moments. But please reach out if you have any topic that you'd like us to include.
Thanks so much for watching, and take care, everyone.